This is the first time for Metric has been in Germany. I think a few of us have been here individually before. I came through Germany last time on a Broken Social Scene tour. Emily and I are both part of this other band from Toronto called Broken Social Scene, which is sort of a large collective of all these different bands, and whenever some of us have time to go on tour with them or to write songs with them or to go into the studio, we do. And the last time I was here, it was with them.
Love it. Love Berlin. Love Berlin. I heart Berlin.
I know when they close the gates, I'll cry. I'm so tired and never sleeping. A whole world wants what we're on. Didn't make this up, I learned it from a friend. My friend is coming clean. She told me, keep one eye on the door, keep one eye on the bed. Never expect to be sure who you're working for. You're working for the police and private, pirates and pilots, fingerprinted waiting for the train.
This tour is charming. It's smaller clubs, it's more intimate, and it's kind of a step back in time, not necessarily in career. It's just more. It's nice to actually play smaller rooms over here, and as far as I wouldn't consider it starting at zero. I would just sort of a budding relationship. So we're all excited about
it. Can't stand by myself. Hate to sleep alone. Surprises always help. So I take somebody home to find out how I feel. I feel like just a baby. Portrait of a lady. Poster of a girl.
When we were starting out in North America, we had a lot less behind us. There was a lot less media about the band, and just by nature of we hadn't been doing it for very long, so we weren't at the level that we're at now. So when we come over here and we're starting fresh with a fan base, we have a lot more behind us, and we feel much more comfortable playing the shows now than we used to years ago. And we're a much better band now than we were when we were starting out in North America. So it's a much more comfortable start, in a way. We feel, when we go into a small club and it's a very intimate setting, we feel very confident that we can win over the room quite easily, as opposed to when we were starting out in North America and we were still testing our own musical ground a little bit. So it's very exciting for us to be over here now and starting our European career on a very good foot.
It's been strange, in fact, in the last 6 months that we just did this U.S. tour that was, I guess, our biggest tour yet, and we opened for the Rolling Stones at Madison Square Garden. That's how we started our year, 2 nights. So it's been a really kind of overwhelming year in terms of how fast things started to happen. And all the shows we've played over there in the last while have all had big barricades and security between us and the people that were coming to the show. So that's another reason it's really nice to be doing. It's a very short tour we're doing right now of Germany and the UK, but it just feels so good to not be looking at the back of someone's head and just play for someone who's right there. I think we've been talking also of how to deal with that back home, of the idea of as you get bigger, you hope that your band gets bigger, but you don't want to play in airplane hangars and soccer stadiums, even if you aspire to that. level, I think it's important to always be able to play just a little club with 150 people and have it mean something. Come back, baby. Come back, baby. Come back, baby. Come back. Bye, 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 baby. Come back, baby. Come back. Danke. Danke schön.
The Conan O'Brien show was sort of, we found out about it 24 hours before we were asked, if we actually did the show. So we were already in New York. We played the Stones, and then there was a day off, and we were supposed to play Madison Square Garden again with the Stones. And in between those two shows, Conan O'Brien asked us to play on his show. So it was exciting. I mean, I honestly, I think he's probably the only decent late night host on television, if I can say that. Hope no one's affiliated with anybody else. But I like him. I think he's funny. So we were all excited. But like everything, it was, we played one song. It was over so fast. But it was fun. Yes, he's super nice.
Very nice, very tall.
Tall?
Very tall.
And red hair, right?
Big red hair. He's actually a funny looking man.
I think it's a very exciting time for bands in making videos, because previously you only had one outlet for your music. It's these big mainstream television channels to play your music videos. But now, as in every form of distribution of music and films and music videos, people can see our videos on the internet. It's great. So we've been collaborating recently with a guy whose name is Micah Meisner, who's a Toronto director. And he's very interested in films from the French New Wave, and so we made two videos, one for Monster Hospital and one for a poster of a girl, which are based on the sort of mood and visual aesthetic of that time. For Poster of a Girl, we were thinking also of the films of David Lynch and the surreal mood that he's able to create, and Micah refers to the tone as being magical realism, which I think is an interesting idea.